So, first YouTube video. I'm doing this for fun, for free. Hoping that any of this is usable. So yesterday I woke up and immediately thought to myself, like most of you probably have at some point in your life, what would SoundCloud look like if it was actually a usable app? Since I have Sketch and Adobe, which are design tools, I figured why not try to answer that question. So basically, I spent way more time on this than I probably should have because nobody is paying me. But I just had to know what we're missing out on since the algorithm is so good and the UX design is just, could be better. I'm gonna start with sketching and then take it into the computer and just see where the day takes us. Whenever I start something like this, I spend time in the app and see what's working well and what isn't. I'll figure out what I want the goal of the product or the feature to be and look at other products that I think are accomplishing that goal well as inspiration. For SoundCloud, I think that what works well is the music community that the platform has built and the algorithm that suggests fantastic new music. I want to lean into the community aspect of SoundCloud and create something that feels less like a streaming service and more like a content creation platform like YouTube or Instagram. I'm just working on the homepage for now since I don't actually have unlimited time to work on this. I'm experimenting with different types of navigation and mostly thinking about the best way that SoundCloud can connect to users with new artists. I want something much more visual than what the current homepage has, and the ability to incorporate video since TikTok exists now and the bar has been raised pretty high. In this first sketching phase, I'm doing extremely rough outlines of what the page could look like and only taking 1 to 2 minutes per sketch. Limiting yourself like that is a good way to get a lot of ideas on the page really quickly without getting lost in the details. In the more detailed sketches, I'm using rulers and taking more time to think about the details and the mechanics of what I'm putting on the page, thinking about things like what's the first thing I want the user to see and what content do I want on the home page versus what content should be linked. Now, just to be clear, I normally won't do this second sketching phase by hand. Usually at this point, I would take it into the computer and make outlines there, but I look at my computer all day, every day, and screens are taking over my life, so I just decided to sketch by hand. One thing I didn't do here is think through how a user would actually move through the app, because I'm not designing the whole app and I'm just focusing on one page, but that would be a really important step if I was creating a whole product from scratch. I pulled the 3 more detailed sketches into the computer, and at this point I wasn't totally sure which one I would like the most, so I just worked on all of them. I knew I wanted to try this kind of dynamic top navigation that would expand and collapse so that it didn't take up too much space, and I wanted some kind of artists of the day list that SoundCloud could recommend you. I wanted to create more opportunity for content to go viral and make it the most prominent part of the homepage so that users would open the app just to see this list and explore the tracks. Here I pulled in a photo from Unsplash and it was accidentally massive, but having it land that size on the page, I realized that I should use a longer size for the video so that it fits better on the phone. I liked it so much that I just left it there as is and decided to design around it. Once I knew I wanted to do a full screen music paired with video on the first page, I was pretty sure that that was the one I was going to go with, but I kept the other 2 versions there just in case. One of the first pieces of advice I got when I started designing was never delete anything because you'll probably use it somewhere else someday. I pulled in album covers to get rid of my placeholders. You can start off with placeholders, but you always want to fill it in with real content / information because you want to see what the screen would actually look like to someone using the app. I usually don't design icons in Sketch because it's not as good as Illustrator at creating unique shapes. So I did this part in Illustrator, but you can do any of this in either program. I created a few different heart icons and couldn't get the shape perfect, but just decided to move on for the sake of time and go with what I had. I went for pretty basic shapes and decided for now to have home, favorites, discover, and library. I didn't record all the finishing touches, but I added buttons for profile and messaging and kept them always visible. I changed the design to a dark mode theme because since turning my phone on dark mode, nothing else looks good to me. Thanks everyone for watching this video. I have a lot in mind that I'd like to redesign, so let me know if this is something that you like. And I hope everybody can get some sleep now knowing what SoundCloud could look like.